Hello, my name is William Lewis Hornbuckle Jr., and I'm here with my wife.
Hi, I'm Corinnia.
And this marriage course, from losing to winning in marriage and relationships, we made this course. Number one, how do you even get in a good relationship? How do you get married? What does it take to actually make this thing work? A lot of times, in marriage and relationships, you get into it. We get into it. We don't even know what we're doing. I know, like me, when I was doing my thing, I didn't know what I was doing. All the influence I had was from TV and from what I saw. And it wasn't always the right thing. And my wife comes with her whole set of issues.
Yep.
And we got married. I got married at 25. I've been married 16 years. And honestly, I did not know. I didn't know what it would take. I didn't know what was good. I didn't know how to be a father, how to be a husband, how to have a good relationship. So 16 years later, we're here right now in our home to give back, to share with people how does this thing work? How did we make it so far? And it took a lot, and it took a lot of things and a lot of issues and a lot of training and teaching to get to this point. But you got to start somewhere. And the thing that we did, what actually made this thing work, what actually enabled us to go from a relationship to a marriage. And this is our first video. This is our first topic. And the course is called From Losing to Winning in Marriage and Relationships. And you can get it right online and tell other people about it, please. But the very first thing, number one, that got us to this point, this is what's going to work for you, this was believed work for so many people, is making sure it's the right person. Raise your hand if you was with the wrong person. If you've ever done that in your life before. And I didn't say you drink, I say raise your hand if you've ever been with the wrong person.
This is just soda, by the way.
We all know. Anyway, being sure you are with the right person. And I just have to go back a little bit and just share a little bit. And I'm going to ask my wife this. How did you know? Just a personal nugget. How did you know? What made you feel like, this guy right here, this great guy right here, is the right person? Because that's important to these people. Being sure, and we're going to teach you how, that you're with the right person.
I can't say that I knew right off the bat that you were the right person, but I definitely had a good feeling about you. That makes sense. And that chemistry was there. I was definitely attracted to my husband. I really felt some like fireworks. So that's that first phase of you getting infatuated with someone, and once that really dies off, if you still get that giddy feeling, you're kind of on that right path. But I wasn't sure of being with the right person until I really prayed about it. And for me, it was all about, God, is this the one? I have my own set of personal checklists of everything that I wanted in a husband, and he met quite a few of those on my checklist. And so just really praying about it and asking God, is this the right one? And getting that assurance from him just really led me to say, this is right. And not only was it right from God, but also it felt right to me. And I just had to follow my gut. A lot of times you just really have to follow your instincts, follow your gut. You will know. Just like you know if somebody's wrong for you right off the bat. If that don't feel right, probably is not right. And so for me, it was just really following that spirit inside of me, following my gut feeling, and then trusting the process. Like he said, it didn't start out with peaches and cream and a bed of roses, but deep down inside, I knew this is what God had for me.
Right. So if you are in a relationship, or if you having problems in your relationship, and I still say you gotta start here. You have to be sure, because if you are sure that person is the right one for you, and as my wife said, she prayed about it, she put God in the whole situation, and it was, she needed something else, some peace on the inside. And I think that's the very first thing. That's the very first thing that worked for me. I remember the second time I actually saw my wife. She was walking by, and I just knew something on the inside told me that's going to be the one for me. And I said, okay. But it's a whole nother story. But when I said okay, you got to remember the person that said okay was not okay. And that may be where you are. You and the other person, y'all might be at the point where you're okay, but you're not okay. Because yes, you have the willingness to be committed, but you have the personal issues and things that has to be corrected. And that takes time, that takes wisdom, that takes commitment, and it takes discipline and growth. So I have 3 criteria, 3 ways that you can be sure you're with the right person. Now, this ain't just gonna be the guy that pull up in the car and say, hey baby, you sure do look good. And you do look good in that dress.
I know, thank you.
That's not that guy.
Oh, okay.
It ain't gonna be the guy with the jersey sagging, talking about, hey little mama, let me holler at you for a second.
Even though he had jerseys on when I made him too.
Well, I had a work shirt on because I had a job. Just good criteria, guys. Get a job and do something. But that's another lesson. But we say there's going to be 3 criteria. And I'm going to use the D word, destiny. Y'all don't get your mind out the gutter. Destiny. Is your life, is your idea of what you want to do with your life. Are you going somewhere together? See, we ended up here. We ended up even recording here because we knew at one point we always wanted to give back and help other people. That is a destiny moment. So when we think of destiny, what, coming from a woman's point of view, how important is it for a woman when she sees a guy to feel like you're going in the right place, to have some type of destiny together?
Well, I think it's important because if you're not kind of on the same page, you don't have some things in common, you will always find yourself separate. And marriage is what it is. It's a union. You become one. And so when you think of destiny, it is a journey that you're going to take and that you should be able to take together. So there should be some strengths in your marriage that's going to allow you to unify, and you're going to reach that destiny together. Otherwise, what's the point of you even being together? So destiny is very important. You should definitely have some similarities. And I'm not saying you have to be just like your spouse, because I think there's a balance. But your interest and his interest, sometimes they need to go down parallel so that you're going the same path and that you reach your destiny together. You learn from each other, you grow from it. Like he just took my drink and I'm really, really thirsty. See, you go together with that because I just willingly gave that to him. So that's part of the destiny, that he's gonna give me a refill on my drink. Destiny.
All right, that's a destiny prophecy. But I will say, I'm gonna get this back so I don't get in trouble. I will say, just hold that corner for me. I will say that the very first conversation, as you can see, my wife talked to me about my future, my destiny. She asked me, she said, something is different about you. She started saying, this is who you really are. And I was like, how do you know me like that? But it was something deeper. Guys, girls, married people, are you talking about, is your conversation about where you're going to go? Because if it ain't got no conversation about where you're going to go, and it's the only conversation that person has where you're going to the bedroom, then that's a sign that it may not be the one, because the one person is going to want to go somewhere in life. So if you're in a marriage, you're in a relationship, where are you going in life? And the next word, we had the D word, now we're going to use the C word. The D word was destiny. The C word is completion. What does that mean? Well, it means that there's going to be some things that your partner is going to do better than you. And there's going to be some things that you do better than your partner. But together, you complete me. I want to say that was a Tom Cruise movie. You complete me. No. All right. But let's as you see here, as we talked about, we know each other. Just let's talk briefly. Tell people about completion. And what do you feel like, when we are completing each other, how does that kind of work? How does that make a relationship better?
Well, I would say my husband, he's a writer.
Oh my gosh.
He likes to write, but he really does not like to edit. And so we complete each other, because the first time he wrote something,
she bled all over my paper.
He asked me.
She took a red pen and it just bled everywhere.
He asked me to edit. Well, the teacher in me took out the red pen at the time.
I went to the principal's office, not the teacher.
At the time, I was a teacher. And when he said edit it, I said, okay. So I took my red pen and I started correcting things. When I handed him his paper, unfortunately,
I failed.
He did. But the content was so good. And so what that taught me is that he has a creative side. He really does. Really, really creative. But I'm a perfectionist. And so we complete each other, because what he offers, I enhance. And so those things work together towards our destiny. I don't always have to be right. You ask me to sit down and just start writing something out of my mind, I'm going to sit there and think for a very, very long time. But you put a pen in his hand and it just flows like that. But if you ask him to spell it, he gonna hand it to me. That's why I am the Scrabble champion and the Wheel of Fortune champion, because of my ability to edit. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Well, is it Coke in there?
Yes.
Well, that is true. The whole concept is this is for those who are in a relationship, because we want this to hit before and after. The thing is, you got to learn in your relationship, the completion is, as we just said, we're not going to be good at everything. I'm not good at everything. She's not good at everything. And sometimes in relationships, you argue because you're mad at that person because they're not good in an area, because you are. Well, maybe your role is to help that other person, or let that other person take over where you're weak. So now I've learned, as years go by, now I don't even bother when I write something. I'm just like, here, take it, do what you do with it. But actually I learned from her, because when I started seeing what mistakes I was making, it did make me a better writer. True. I'm not where I need to be, but I'm better. And I also know that if I put something out, so if y'all see anything on our channel on Instagram that's misspelled or bad grammar, that's me. If it looks really good, that's because she's edited. But that is the completion aspect of being sure you're with the right person. And I'm a repetitive person, so I like to go over. First criteria, be sure you're with the right person, destiny. The second criteria, do they complete you and complete your life? And the last part is another C word, not completion. It's conflict. Now, how does conflict what are you talking about when you say conflict? When I say conflict, that means something in you just cannot leave that person alone. You may say in your marriage, it may be bad. You be like, I can't deal with this joker. I don't like him. He done messed up. He done messed up 3,900 times. But I'm hooked. I can't walk away. Make sure the other two is met. And then this conflict sometimes is good. Because that conflict is what's going to make you fight for that person.
That's good.
When me and my wife got together, do you have the nerve to know that she at first wanted to turn me down? I was shocked because I thought I was the man. I was like, not me. She was like, nah, I'm not ready. I was like, okay. Had to pick my face up off the ground. Then later, she said, you know what? I just can't. There's something about you. Something inside was just conflicting. And she decided to fight. She was willing at that point when she was sure, she said, we are going to make this thing work. And if you got that in you, it don't matter where your relationship is. It don't matter if you're starting or if you're finna get into it. Some conflict is good because you're going to have to overcome a lot of things.
That's right.
We had to overcome a lot of things to get to this point. And we're going to share with you throughout this course, throughout these videos, how and the different challenges and the different things we had to overcome.
More to come.
To go from losing, and we were losing, but you add it together, you can't do it because you got a drink in your hand. Here, I'll help you. Add it together, we go to winning. That's what this course is about. From losing to winning in marriage and relationships. So, be sure you're with the right person. Can't help you if you're with the wrong person because it doesn't work. Use this criteria. Think about it. Pray about it. This is the real deal, what you need. If you want to have something good, start here. Any other comments you want to put on that, honey?
No, I thought that was really interesting. You talked about that conflict because I was really thinking on a whole nother term of conflict about agreeing to disagree and how sometimes you will have conflicts in your marriage and how you handle it. But I like how you pointed that out, how even though you get so mad, it's just something in you that says, no, but I'm gonna fight for this. And so that was new for me. That was fresh. That was good. So I agree. Knowing the destiny path that you're taking, completing each other, and then that conflict and resolution and being willing to fight, ride or die. Ride or die. And that's some meat. So that's good. I don't really have anything extra except for you to tell you can make it. You can do this.
That's right.
We've gone from losing to winning. And we just want to encourage everyone out there that's listening to us. We are who we are. And there are no perfect marriages, but you can win.
That's right.
And so we just encourage you to fight that good fight. And thank you for listening to us.
That's right. 16 years and counting, y'all. All right, you can do it too. All right.
Take care.
Bye-bye.